So Brian, you're at the summit in Ottawa working towards solutions on this car theft crisis. So thank you for joining us, because I think a lot of people simply feel helpless, you know, just waiting for their cars to be stolen. If they don't have a garage, waiting for them to be stolen out of a driveway or the street. Can you give us 4 tangible things people could do?
Yeah, absolutely. You can use a Faraday pouch. Here's an example of one. This one's from York Regional Police. And you simply put your key fob in it, close it, make sure it's properly closed, and that prevents that radio frequency from emitting. Using a steering wheel lock, just a visual, something that it's another barrier that the thief has to overcome. And then aftermarket immobilizer is another effective means, as well as an onboard diagnostic port lock. So that prevents them from plugging in and doing a reprogram theft. So not one of those is going to be sufficient on itself. That's why we call it a layered approach. But really protecting against relay attacks and reprogramming attacks are significant advantages for you as an owner of a vehicle.
Brian, I have a PIN code to open my phone. Sometimes it looks at my face. Is there not something you can do in a car, like to hit the horn twice and the windshield wiper once?
Yeah, and absolutely, and that's the significance with these aftermarket immobilizers. Unless you know that sequence and you can program it yourself with the manufacturer, I always recommend getting these done through the manufacturer. But this is a sequence that's only known by the owner, whether it be having your fan on the second level, and until that sequence is met, that vehicle will not start. So they can break into the vehicle, but they're not starting that vehicle unless they know that sequence.
In this whole conversation, what strikes me is that it's putting all the onus on the car owner. At what point do manufacturers get serious about this? I mean, surely the insurance companies are furious at this point and putting pressure on too.
Yeah, and we encourage, and that's what's great about the summit tomorrow. Everybody's going to be present. Manufacturers are going to be there. Law enforcement's going to be there. CBSA, all levels of government, and talking through what the vulnerabilities are and what are the solutions. So very optimistic that some good is going to come out of tomorrow. It's not going to be just talking points, but actually action. So I'm looking forward to those solutions.
One last thought. I understand about the ports in Canada, but lots of countries have ports. Why are the numbers so stark here?
Yeah, it's really, I mean, it started during the pandemic where vehicles were being stolen by organized crime groups. They see it as a high reward, low risk. It's fairly lucrative. Alberta has a significant per capita crime rate when it comes to vehicle thefts, but really Ontario and Quebec, there's a couple of problems that why they're being targeted. Interpol will call us a source nation for stolen vehicles. Ontario and Quebec have high population, high number of targeted vehicles, and the proximity to the Port of Montreal. So you take the technology that's available to criminals, you have their ability to be in a generally small geographical area to steal vehicles, close proximity to an exit port, and buyers overseas. And I will say, these criminals with the organized crime group element will be seeking sentences reflective of the seriousness of the crimes, which will be a deterrent in itself.
Okay, well, everyone's counting on some action tomorrow at the summit.
So.
All right, Byran Gast in Ottawa, thank you.
Thank you.